Hey guys, what's going on? I'm back with another video. Happy Wednesday to you. So it's that time of the week again. We're going to go through all the football games that are going on this week, give you my picks, prediction, tell you who I think's going to win for all these games. So it's week 14. You know, I can't believe season's just flying by. Only got 4 more weeks left, including this week of the regular season to go. I've been pretty accurate this year with this. It feels like for instance, like last week, I think somebody actually wrote in a comment or a message. I'm not quite sure. Because I picked the I picked the Seahawks to beat the Eagles last week on Sunday Night Football, and somebody was, they were all, angry, and I guess rightfully so. Everybody's got a right to their opinion, saying that, the Eagles are legit and all this stuff. And I said in the video, I said, no, I think the Seahawks are I've actually been saying this since a few weeks into the season, that the Eagles aren't all they're cracked up to be because they beat all the crap teams, so it really doesn't tell you much. And I said, yeah, no, I think the Seahawks they're gonna beat them. The Seahawks had a completely gutted team. Chancellor's out, Sherman's out, banged up. I mean, the Russell Wilson's their whole team. But even so, going to Seattle, that whole thing, it's a tough, it's a lot different than beating the friggin' 2-10 Giants. I mean, like other games they played in. So I thought they'd lose, and they did. So yeah, been kind of accurate this year. So let's go through all the games going on this week, tell you what I think is going to happen. So tomorrow night, Thursday Night Football, New Orleans Saints, Atlanta Falcons, NFC South Showdown. Saints are 9-3, Falcons are 7-5. Really what this has to do with, for me at least, is the Saints are riding high. I feel like any team that, because the Saints started off the season 0-2, it's like, oh, this is it. It's the end of, Sean Payton's getting fired, Breeze is going to retire, everything's all done. And completely, their defense blew at the beginning. It was an absolute mess, just a dumpster fire at the beginning of the year. And to get it completely revamped, fixed, ready to go, winning, 9 games in week 12 being 9-3, or week 14 now, I guess. After starting 0-2, so only having lost 1 game since week 2, and now we're in December is remarkable. I really think I give a lot of kind of like bonus points to any team that makes during a season, turned it around, fixed it, and is now playing well. Because overcoming that adversity, unlike the Eagles, it makes your team stronger. Because when you face adversity in a game, you're not gonna. You're gonna know what to do. So, anyways, for that reason, among others, I got these Saints winning this game. It's a good team, tough team. Next game up, Colts, Bills. I got the Bills winning that game. Yeah. So any game that's trash, I'm not really gonna waste too much time on. Vikings and Panthers. So the Vikings are 10-2. The Panthers are 8-4. So Teddy Bridgewater comes back from the guy's been gone forever. And so he comes back, but they're keeping Case Keenum, I guess, as the quarterback, which is the right move, because if you're 10-2, you don't screw anything up. Like for instance, like the Cowboys last year, Romo comes back, but they keep Dak. I mean, that, really, there's some other things you could say about that. But just anytime you get a situation where, you got something that's working for you, don't screw it up. Don't do like the friggin' Giants, like benching Eli Manning. Not that the Giants were playing particularly well. But there's nothing wrong with Manning. Just don't, if it's not broke, don't fix it, which is the right strategy with the Vikings. However, a little bit like the Eagles. I mean, if you look at the Vikings schedule, just to kind of, try to do the strength of schedule thing, because that's really how I would go about figuring out who I think is going to come out of each conference. The Vikings, they've beat up on some crap teams, Dolphins, 49ers, the week 1 Saints. Wait, hold on, Matt, Dolphins, that was preseason, excuse me. So they lose to the Steelers, they lose to the Vikings, it's week 1 and 2. Beat the Bucks, lose to the Lions, beat the Bears, close game, Packers, Ravens, Rams, yeah, okay, so Falcons, yeah. So, it's a bit more competitive than some other team schedules. But at the same time, I don't know how battle-tested they are. Their defense is really strong. Really, one of the biggest surprises this year is Case Keenum is a representative quarterback. Like, the guy can play. He's all right. I can't really knock him that much. That's like, I would have never guessed that. He really came out of nowhere. But yeah, anyways, I like what the team's doing. The Panthers, on the other hand, the Panthers feel like the Steelers of the NFC. Like, just inconsistent. Well, I shouldn't say, it's not that accurate. Just inconsistent. They're 8-4. They could just as easily blow a team out as get blown out. It's just that kind of thing. Anyways, I got the Vikings win this game. Next game up, Bengals and Bears. So the Bengals played the Steelers on Monday night in one of the dirtiest games I have ever seen. Holy smokes. Ryan Shazier, prayers are with him. That guy, he could have been paralyzed from that hit, and that really wasn't anybody's fault. He just kind of ran into the guy, and it hit his neck and everything. But George Iloka, Juju Smith-Schuster, Vontez Burfict. Well, I guess he was on the receiving end. Just dirty hit after dirty hit after dirty. I mean, unbelievable. Like Iloka popping Antonio Brown in the end zone. Juju Smith-Schuster just trucking the hell out of Vontez Burfict on a blindside hit. Which, look, Vontez Burfict is a dirty player. Okay, the guy's a really dirty player. A lot of dirty hits, a lot of questionable things he's done. Nobody deserves that, but at the same time, I mean, I think Antonio Brown said, karma after game, like it's karma. I mean, I kind of agree with that. I mean, the guy's had so many dirty hits that it's hard to feel bad for him. But at the same time, it adds up. Just dirty hit after dirty hit after dirty hit. That Bengals team the Bengals are like the Dolphins. Just they're not good enough to win outright, so they just play dirty. That's what they get. They have more fun playing dirty and throwing cheap shots than winning, which is a problem. It's that Bengals team, the friggin' coach that's been there forever, they haven't won anything the whole time. I mean, something's got to change. That Bengals team is just a dirty, pissy team. I really think Andy Dalton blows. I mean, at the beginning of that game, though, when they got ahead of this, I was like, man, where's this Andy Dalton been? Like, I've never seen, this Andy Dalton, complete and pass and everything. And then it just, because, like, for instance, the entire time I thought the Steelers were going to win. I never at any time thought that they're going to lose. You could just see it coming. And well, I'll talk about that when we get to the Steelers. But just, and then they just completely just, fall apart. Balls going through guys' hands. Friggin' taking 40-yard sacks. All this nonsense. Anyways, but it's good enough to beat the Bears. Next game up, Packers and Browns. Got the Packers winning this game. I don't know if Rodgers is coming back with 6-6. I mean, I think he said, and I agree, that you should only try to come back if it's actually going to make a difference. So if I don't know if they're still in the playoffs. Let me just check the playoff picture real quick, just to be sure, because he doesn't really need to come back from injury if they're not really going anywhere. So if you look at the NFC as far as the playoff picture goes, they are not in it. They're in the hunt right now. They're the 9th seed. So just to try to plan this out here. So if the Packers win on Sunday, then they go to 7-6. The Lions and Falcons would have to lose, and then the Packers and Falcons would be and then I think they'd probably be the 7th seed. And then the next week, then you need another team to lose. So either probably was the lowest hanging fruits, the Panthers. So if the Panthers lost on Sunday, they'd be 8-5. And then the Lions and Falcons also lose. The Lions would be 6-7. Falcons would be 7-6. Panthers would be 8-5. It's 7-6. I mean, you still want to get the 6th seed from the Panthers. So I mean, it would take a few weeks they'd have to win like the next few weeks, and other teams would have to lose in a very specific way for them to take that 6th seed. But I don't know. But anyway, the friggin' Browns are 0-12. That's really the story of this. So yeah, I got the Packers win this game. Next game up, 49ers, Texans. So I don't know if Jimmy Garoppolo there, if he's playing, if he's just the starter now, or maybe that was like a one-time thing. He looked really good. I mean, I don't want to say Jimmy Garoppolo in that 49ers unit because he's short. Like, he looked like Joe. All right, he looked like Joe Montana in that game. Okay, because Joe Montana was a shorter guy too. Garoppolo's a shorter guy. That red and gold uniform rolling out to the left on the bootleg, throwing it high in the end zone. He looked just like Joe. I swear, he looked just like Joe. He really did. Not to, he doesn't really hold a candle to Joe Montana. At least yet. We'll see what happens. Still young. But hey, they found their quarterback, man. That's a quarterback. Now, here's the thing. He's only played I think he has 3 career starts. So I mean, let's not get ahead of ourselves. And he got injured in one of them and only played half of it. So he's played 2.5 games in his career. Actually, screw that. No, hold on a minute. Because he only came in for the first few minutes of this last few minutes of these few games. Or no, sorry. He played the full game and he played the end of the game before. So it's 3 full games and 2 halves. So it's about 3 games. All right. So it's not really a lot to go on. What the 49ers have to do, they have to get this guy some hands to throw to. That's what this guy needs. Jimmy Garoppolo needs some hands, some targets, some receivers, big guys that get open, small guys that stretch the field because they're fast. That's what he needs. That's how you rebuild that team. Then you focus on the defense. But that could be something. That could be a team going forward. It really could. You know, the resurgence of the 49ers. I mean, that would really suck if you're a Patriots fan and, you know, Brady plays a few more years, then he retires. And it's like you could have had Garoppolo. Like, if he really turns into, like, the next guy, and then the 49ers go on a dynasty like they had with Joe Montana. I mean, this is some wishful thinking, but, you know, you were the Patriots, and Brady retires in a few years, and now you're watching Jimmy G, you know, have a dynasty with the 49ers really tearing it up. That's going to suck, because it's like you could have had that guy. So, I mean, if you're a Patriots fan, you really hope that Jimmy G just, you know, stinks it up, but I don't think he's going to. But anyways, I think it's interesting. Yeah, so Texans win this game, 49ers blow. Next game up, Raiders, Chiefs. Both teams are 6-6. The difference is the Chiefs started off hot, got cold, and now they're just ice. That team. If you go back to the beginning of the year, I remember most of the time I'd pick against the Chiefs, and people would say, "Oh, you're just hating on the Chiefs. Why you hate the Chiefs so much?" You know. And I said, look, Andy Reid, I've been watching Andy Reid a long time. Okay, Andy Reid's a great coach. Got a tremendous amount of respect for Andy Reid. However, Andy Reid teams do Andy Reid things. Like, first of all, Travis Kelce's a friggin' tool. There's no question about that. But if you start off riding as high as the Chiefs were, the only place you can go is down. So it's like they come out, beat the Patriots, like 5 wins in a row. You know, injuries start to build up. You know, players start getting chippy, and, you know, Andy Reid, the clock management, not that that's been a huge problem this year, but that's, one of Andy Reid's shortcomings. Just, there's kind of like this decay of the Andy Reid team. Like, if you go watch, hold on, what Super Bowl was it? Super Bowl 39, was it? Hold on a minute. When did the Eagles play the Patriots when Andy Reid coached the Eagles? Was it, it was 2005. I think it was Super Bowl 39. Super Bowl 39. It was a competitive game the whole time, going back and forth between, the Eagles and the Pats. Reid's coaching the Eagles. And as it starts to go on, just the clock management, timeout uses, it's just he starts... I don't know how to describe it, but it starts off as this competitive game, but there's just this decay of the Andy Reid team that happens. I don't know how to describe it, really. It's like they start off pretty competitive, but just always fall short. It's just what happens with them for whatever reason. And that's what happened this year. So I knew it was coming because I see it every friggin' year. And it happened again. And now they're 6-6. I mean, if you start off 5-0 and now you're 6-6, what is that? Like, you've gone 1-6 in the last 7 weeks, or maybe 8 weeks if you had a bye week. God, like how does that? How do you go from winning 5 straight to then losing? Like, how do you? Whatever. So, and then the Raiders aren't any better, but the Raiders are really weak. I got the Chiefs winning this game. Next game up, Detroit Lions, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Lions 6-6, Buccaneers blow. They're 4. I thought that was like the next up and coming team was the Buccaneers between Jameis Winston, that whole operation. No, they suck. They're terrible. So I got the Lions winning that game. Next game up, Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants. So this is, if you watch enough sports shows like I do, like First Take and all that crap, which I don't like it as much anymore, because I know these shows like the First Take and all that stuff, all these shows do is they talk about 2 teams. They talk about the Dallas Cowboys and the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's it. There's no other, like, there's 32 teams in the NFL. What was there, like 30 teams in baseball, 29 in the NHL, I think, and probably about that same number in the NBA. So what's that, like 30 10 sports, but like roughly 120 teams or so. Not exactly, but they spend all their time talking about these 6-6 Cowboys and these sluggish Cavaliers. You know why? Because Cavaliers is, because if you can put the words LeBron James in as many, titles and tags in your videos and stuff as possible, it gets more views, which is why these shows that then take their episodes and put them on YouTube or wherever, and I'm totally going off on a rant here, but it's just clickbait. So it's LeBron James and it's Ezekiel Elliott. That's all they talk about on these shows, even though both of those teams are kind of right now. Like, they're not the hottest teams, but that's what they focus on. So I know in talking about this team that all you're going to hear about, probably today, tomorrow, Friday, and all these shows is the Dallas Cowboys. That's it. I don't know why they're not very good, but that's what I don't get it. Like, look, okay, You want to see something right now? If you're on YouTube, do this. Watch this. All right, hold on. Come on, screen. Come back on. All right, there we go. Go on here. Okay, go to youtube.com. Put this on mute so we'll start playing. And go down here, and these two knuckleheads, Shannon Sharp and what's his name? The other guy, Skip Bayless. I'm going here. The show's called Undisputed. I'm going to go down here, and I haven't watched it in a few days. I guarantee you they're talking about the Dallas Cowboys and the Cavaliers. That's all they talk about on these two shows. Okay, here's the channel, videos, and here it is. Here's the video 21 hours ago. Who is most to blame for the Dallas Cowboys struggling? You know what videos before that? Has LeBron James proven he's this year's MVP? That's the only two freaking things they talk about on these shows. So anyways, I just kind of know that in talking about this game, which I'm really not going to, like, that's all anybody talks about. I don't know. I don't know how that works. If you could explain that to me, I'm very curious. But whatever. Anyway, so yeah, friggin' fine. Cowboys are gonna win. They both suck. Just the Giants suck more. Speaking of the Giants, I do want to talk about that for a minute because it's a legitimate storyline. So Ben McAdoo got fired. Reese, Reese, the GM, he's out. And it's really a mysterious turn of events because they bench Eli and lose, and it's like, well, you knew that was happening, right? Ownership knew he was getting benched. Didn't protest it, because now he's starting again. Didn't protest and say, no, Eli's going to start, which is completely BS that they benched him. I mean, there's nothing really. I mean, look, he's not really a Hall of Famer, but the guy he hasn't missed a game since 2004 until last week. So I mean, the guy's tough, all right. He's up there. So they bench him for no reason. It's not like and start Geno Smith, okay? Geno Smith, Geno Smith isn't going to replace Eli Manning, okay? Geno Smith sucks, all right? So it's not like we're like, all right, well, the season's done. Let's just try to see what we've got in our other quarterback, for the offseason, see what we have here. That's not even what it is, because Geno Smith's not even, it's like not like they even started the young kid either. It's like, what were you trying to figure out? Everybody knows he blows. Like, what are you trying to, I don't get it. I really don't understand what, I mean, and then at the same time, so the ownership, so they do this, it's so ridiculous, right? They catch all this backlash, all this flack, all this heat, and then they fire Ben McAdoo, who deserved it, and the GM. So it's like, what did you think was going to happen? Like, if you really thought it's that bad, why didn't you tell him not to? Maybe you need an excuse to fight. I mean, that team is a mess. Because it's a mess if you can't even come up with an explanation for what they're doing and they're losing. I mean, that's whatever. The Cowboys win this game. Next game up, Titans and Cardinals. Got the Titans winning. Jets and Denver. I got the Jets winning. Has Denver really lost like 9 straight? John Elway just said he's embarrassed. But I mean, everybody's freaking embarrassed. I mean, I think they've lost like 9. I think they've lost 9 straight. I think they have. I believe they've lost or close to that. They suck. Oh my god, they are bad. They're bad. I don't know how they're that bad. I really like what. I understand they don't really have a quarterback. I mean, you got 3 quarterbacks. Like, how do you? Okay, here's what it is. How do you have 3 quarterbacks that all equally suck? You know what that tells me? It means the same guy, John Elway, picked all 3 because all 3 of them suck. But they all suck in the same way. All right, they're all like they're not awful. It's not like you got friggin' Tebow or like Bryce Petty or one of these. It's not like it's that. It's just they all 3. What's his name? Friggin' Osweiler. Savage, or Thomas, is he? No, Osweiler, Paxton Lynch, and freaking third guy, whoever he is. Osweiler, Paxton Lynch, and it doesn't matter. That's what you know that. I kind of should know this guy's name. Whatever. Hold on. All right, I'll look it up. Trevor Siemian, there he is. Yeah, see, the reason I forgot is because they're all the same. It's the same guy. Literally nothing changes when one of them is on the field over the other. So that's their problem. They don't have anybody to throw the ball. If they did, they got some weapons that can catch the ball. They got a great defense. They could be something. So I'll look to see them make a move in the offseason. Anyways, they're not winning this game. Jets have been really good. They're 5-7, could be 6-7 after this week, considering the fact that everybody thought that they're going to go 0-16. That's impressive. So I got the Jets winning this game. Next game up, Chargers and Redskins. I got the Chargers. Chargers are on their way up. Next game, Seahawks, Jags. Jags are more well-equipped. Eagles, Rams. I got the Rams win. I mean, this is really like their third test of the season against like an actual opponent. Rams are 9-3. Eagles are 10-2 with the Rams winning. Close game though. Steelers and Ravens. I got the Ravens winning because every year, first of all, the last few weeks, the Steelers in each of the last few weeks have barely won against pretty bad. It's like the Packers with Brett Hundley win by a field goal at the end. Bengals on Monday night win by a field goal at the that's going to come back to bite them. And Baltimore is just the team to do it because that's always a tough football game. And last but not least, Monday Night Football, Patriots-Dolphins. I got the Patriots win this game. And Gronk's going to miss this game. He's got suspended for a dirty, dirty hit. But hey, that's the friggin' Dolphins. They're going to win anyways. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this week's picks. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and sort of thing. If you have a take you want to share, want to have a debate, anything like that, let me know in the comments down below. But other than that, until next time, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching.